Shall we go live? Why the heck not? How's everybody doing this Tuesday evening, the 27th of October? Let me get on camera. Here I am. 10 minutes to go before we start the Dallas Green Bay game. Of course, there are other pots in the fire tonight. We have the sixth game of the World Series between Tampa Bay and Los Angeles, which is kind of interesting to us here in Pinellas Park, Florida, just a little north of Tropicana Field. If you don't know yet, I am Big Paulie, the proprietor of Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims. How are you this fine night? We are up to 80 subscribers. I began this channel, I would say, late April, early May. And it keeps growing and growing and growing, and I thank you all very much for it. We do a little array of tabletop-ish sports games, board-like games, and Action PC Football is the name of the game tonight. We'll have the all-time greats of Dallas, the Texans, and the Cowboys against Green Bay, and their all-time greats. And that'll start coming to you in 9 minutes. So if you have tuned into this channel for the first time, you've picked a very interesting night to be joining us, or joining me. Why do I always say us and we? And I should be saying me. So, how was your day? I hope it was good. I started my first day at a new job dealing with insurance quotes, and that was kind of interesting because the trainer was giving us material, was reading off of material that we didn't have. We had something else that was totally different. So that was kind of interesting. It's like giving Tom Brady a playbook, but instead of giving him all, like, say, 100 plays, there's 5 plays in there that are missing, and those are the 5 plays you might call upon the most. So that was kind of an interesting adventure. I'm going to stick with it, though. It's been my problem with life that I haven't really stuck with things, except the projects I do here, because I enjoy them. And that's why I am where I am. So we have the World Series going. We got the elections in 1 week. I will also tell you that on election night, I will be doing the HTFL game a half hour earlier for sure. 7 o'clock, we'll do, I believe that is Cleveland and Chicago. We'll go through that at the end of the first quarter of the game. I might be going on 7 o'clock tomorrow night, depending on whether or not there is a game 7. If the Rays win tonight and there is a game 7, then I will come on at 7 and do the HTFL game. If not, we'll just wait till 7:30 because I have no competition. And Tampa Bay is out of our 3 sports teams, they're the one that's never won the title, and here they are. They're 2 wins away, but they got to keep the Dodgers from winning tonight, and then they got to win tomorrow night. So it's a little bit tough, but this is the closest they've ever been. 2 wins away from the World Series. Of course, they were in the World Series in 2008, and they got beat 4-1 by the Philadelphia Phillies. Of course, that 5th game was the never-ending rain delay, where baseball invented some new rules on the fly because if they had just kept the old rules, Philly would have won it by a rainout because the game had gone official. So they just said, "Oh, we're just going to hold the game here," and they have had new rules for the playoffs ever since. 6 minutes and 28 seconds to go. If Al Red Sox fan is watching, I was just watching a couple episodes of Are You Being Served before I started the live stream. German Week, great episode. And another one I was watching called Mrs. Slocum's Expects, where she brings her cat to Grace Brothers, and you think Captain Peacock's going to be all tough with her, and he just says, "Oh, they're delightful" at the end. And they don't make comedies like that anymore, either in British TV or our TV. Well, anyway, so I was just looking at my iPhone. How connected we are in this world through just our little devices and all that. 5 minutes and 35 seconds. Also did a little Grand Slam wrestling. Did some matches before the match that I will show you on Saturday, and we will advertise after the third quarter what that match will be. So the ads you will see, we always do the upcoming games at the end of the first quarter, and at the end of the third, I usually either promote the recap show, or I pick another one of my projects and recap that, because I think that draws the audience in. So I hope I've seen some of you are tuning in already, and I thank you very much for that. Got a few watchers and listeners out there. I imagine that there are a few people that just come for the audio commentary, because some of us are kind of frustrated sportscasters. I, for one, um, did for a couple of years. I did the public address announcing at my local high school when I came out of high school, Largo High School in Largo, Florida, home of the Fighting Packers. I've mentioned before, I think, in these little warm-up shows that I do, that Dexter McCluster. I went to school with his father, and he also played on the Largo football team, as did Dexter. Dexter broke, trying to think who broke the rushing record in Pinellas County and had 2,000 rushing yards for Largo. I think it was McCluster. But at any rate, of course, we also had Leonard Johnson, who would go on and play for the Buccaneers and for the Patriots. And he also came out of Largo High and went to Ohio, not to Ohio State, but Iowa State. And very proud of both of these young men. I believe they are not playing in the NFL anymore, but I am not so sure about that. So if I am in error, please correct me. The Buccaneers are 5-2, so the good times might keep rolling here in the Tampa Bay sports market. Of course, the Lightning won the Stanley Cup a few weeks back, and here are the Rays, two wins away from a World Series championship with a pennant in hand. So we have 3 minutes and 13 seconds, and then we'll get started. Thanks Super Bowl tournament for coming by, and I think I've already mentioned this tonight. My memory's kind of going mashugging on me today. We were at 80 subscribers. 80 subscribers to the channel. I think I did mention that a few minutes ago. Sometimes you're just too busy talking, you don't remember what it is you talked about. And that's why I always say, oh, it's first and 10 at the 25, and then a few seconds later, oh, it's first and 10 at the 25. So we got that. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Like to start these puppies right on time. Hello, Al, Red Sox fan. I was just talking about you. I was watching Are You Being Served right before I started the stream tonight, and I was just talking about that a couple of minutes ago. Of course, we're very keen to see what happens with the Rays tonight. Is this the night they go El Foldo, or a lot of pressure on Blake Snell to do well? And Snell, I don't think Snell and Cash get along all that well. You do the same thing, you forget too. Yeah. Well, when you're talking, you kind of forget from time to time what you're talking about, and that's always kind of interesting. Menswear, yes, yes, Mr. Humphreys, menswear. I forget that they keep putting these episodes on YouTube, and I go through them all. And not just Are You Being Served? There was other British comedies. There was one called Sorry, with a guy by the name of Ronnie Corbett. It's also very good. He lives with his mother, and they often have witty conversations. And I think there's also Faulty Towers and John Cleese, and trying to think of course, you see Benny Hill on there here and there. I always liked Benny Hill. I had a older cousin who was an airline pilot now for American, and he loved Benny Hill. He thought but Benny Hill was the stuff. Faulty Towers, yeah, yeah, yeah. And he thought Benny Hill was the stuff, especially Jackie Wright, who was the older bald-headed guy, and Benny Hill always go like this to him because he had a bald head, and there was always a sound like that. Okay, folks, 30 seconds to go. Loved Benny Hill. You and I are on the same wavelength, Val. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Keep chatting away, folks. I'm just going to do my open. If I can find where I put my open. There he is. And I'll come back to you in 7 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims proudly presents the HTFL. Tonight, it's our second of the 2 Thanksgiving Day games. Actually, this is going to be a Thanksgiving night game. Dallas at Green Bay, week number 12. I am Big Paulie, coming to you live, but you might have known that already. And as soon as I open up the right screen, there we go. I'll show you the big board. And I will hit play. And it's December. Well, it's 14 degrees in Green Bay. So I call this Thanksgiving week. So we're going to change the temperature. It's going to be like Ice Bowl 2 here. We're going to have a temperature. I always shave 10 degrees off the temperature for a night game. It's going to be 4 above in Green Bay for this one. A wind of 0 to 10 miles an hour. And I will be controlling Green Bay. The computer will be controlling Dallas. Dallas won the toss and deferred, so Green Bay will receive. So we're going to have Ice Bowl 2 on quote-unquote Thanksgiving Day. And yes, indeed, Al, it is time for kickoff. Tony Romo and Aaron Rodgers, your quarterbacks. So we have a couple of modern quarterbacks with some old-timers playing the skill positions. It's going to be Tom Landry against Vince Lombardi, the 2 coaches of the Ice Bowl, oddly enough. So we are kicking this game off. Frozen tundra of Landro Field, 4 degrees above 0. Odom, Adderley, and Canadeo back deep for Green Bay, and we will get this started. I believe this is Odom, and he takes it to the 25. The return goes 21 yards on this frigid Thanksgiving night in Green Bay. Again, if you are just tuning in, and you didn't hear me say this the first couple of times, I said that 4 degrees, which for a Floridian is kind of cold. Taylor and Anderson, your starting running backs for Green Bay as we set up the offense. Hudson and Sharp at wideout. Houghton at tight end, who you could also play wide receiver. Anderson also is the punter. Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. It's Greg, Kramer, Ringo, Gillingham, and Bectian, your offensive line. For Dallas, the Doomsday-ish defense. Jones, Martin, White, and Lilly, your front 4. Howley, Hedrick, White, White plays defensive tackle. Ware is the offensive line, the outside linebacker. Walls, Renfro, Woodson, and Green. A very stout Dallas defense. Started off with Jim Taylor, a trap to the right side on 1st and 10. Just do something basic and elementary here. And Taylor, a gain of 5 yards. I wonder if Taylor saw the game earlier on Thanksgiving Day where Barry Sanders ran wild for over 280 yards but lost to Atlanta 31-28. That was the last game we did. So I probably spoiled it for you if you haven't seen it. Sorry about that, folks. To Sharp, a short hitch on 2nd and 5. That's incomplete. Dallas, their defense, really no weaknesses, so you're just going to have to do what you normally do against them and hope you get a good score. Going to be Hudson on the slant on 3rd and 5. Imagine the throwing games for both teams are going to suffer with the cold conditions. But this is a catch of 6 yards. Hudson makes the catch. You will also see him play corner later on when Green Bay goes on defense. Emerson Walls makes the stop, a gain of 5 yards. It is 1st and 10 at the 36. Taylor off tackle right. We'll try to keep giving him the ball. I think this is the kind of game that might come down to who has the better running game. And Jim Taylor, a gain of 22. And that puts him at 2 carries and 27 yards very early in this game. We're not even 2 minutes into it. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the Dallas 42. We're going to go play action to Hudson. Just try to keep mixing it up here. Hudson is 14, and he's wide open. That's a gain of 21 yards. Don Hudson out of Alabama, one of the great two-way players. I'd say he'd have to be one of the great two-way players in NFL history, but that was back in an era where everybody played two ways, even guys like Sammy Baugh that played defensive back. And Sammy Baugh one year, I think this was 1942, was the league leader in passing, interceptions, and punting. It was either 42 or 43. He held that record. Jim Taylor, off tackle right, a gain of 3. Howley on the stop. Taylor now 3 carries and 30 yards. We'll go Donnie Anderson on a dive, 2nd and 7. And Anderson plows straight ahead, a gain of 3. 3rd and 4 now. We'll go 3 wide, put a man in motion, short pass. And this will be the 4th pass of the day for Aaron Rodgers. In all likelihood, we're going to go medium hitch to Sharp instead, with the short tight defense being deployed. And Sharp has himself a touchdown, and Green Bay is on the board. Aaron Rodgers to Sterling Sharp, a combination you only see right here on the HTFL. Your extra point to try by Longwell is good, and it is 7-0 in favor of Green Bay. And we're just 4 minutes and 42 seconds into the opening quarter. Marsh, Renfro, Ishmael, that's Quadri Israel. They are back deep for Dallas. And Renfro takes it at the 5. And he is tackled at the 20 by Ellis. That's a return of 16 yards. So, to set your starting offense for Dallas, it is going to be Emmitt Smith and Herschel Walker in the same backfield. They are the running backs. Irwin and Burford. Now remember, Dallas also has Dallas Texans on their team. They played in the AFL from 60 to 62 before moving on to Kansas City. So Burford represents the Dallas Texans. Witten is your tight end, the former Monday Night Footballer. Then Romo at quarterback. Wright, Allen, Frederick, Martin, and Smith, your offensive line. For Green Bay, Davis, Campman, Jordan, and Ray, your front 4. Matthews, Nitschke, and Robinson, your linebackers. Adderley, Hudson. There we go with Don Hudson again. Dillon and Wood at safety. Bobby Dillon at the safety position came into the week leading the league in interceptions, or tied for the lead with 4. A 1st and 10. The give to Emmitt Smith out of the University of Florida. Gain of 6, and he goes over 1,000 yards. We were talking about Emmitt Smith the last time Dallas played. Escambia High School was the first time I ever saw him in a state championship against the St. Pete Green Devils. 2nd and 4 to 26. That was back in 1984. Pass over the middle. Now, we don't know which 88 this is because Irvin and Burford both wear 88. It was to Burford. Hudson makes the tackle, a gain of 11. 1st and 10 at the 37 now. Give to Herschel. And Herschel with a 3-yard gain. Ray Nitschke makes the tackle. And it's now a 2nd and 7 at the 40. Hello, Michael Butler. How are you? We got him in the audience tonight. A gain of 4. Setting up 3rd and 3. Now we have 3 88s in the game. Des Bryant up top, Michael Irvin in the slot, and Chris Burford down below. 3rd and 3, ball at the 44. And they go to Witten, but that falls incomplete. And our spotters are telling us that was a bad throw by Tony Romo. So punting time. This is Danny White back to punt, so he's always a threat to do some trickeration, but not this time. I will return the punt. And it's a nice return of 14 yards by Wood. He caught it at the 13, which is why I was thinking it was 13. And the punt return goes to the 27, so the net on the punt, 29 yards. $7-0 in favor of the Packers. 7:06 left to go. Trap left. Jim Taylor. Blitz coming, so it's going to be a screen to Donnie Anderson. And Rodgers flushed out of the pocket, but he gets it to Anderson anyway, and that is a gain of 13. Chuck Howley the hero of Super Bowl V, who got the MVP award but did not lead his team to victory. He made the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 40. With a little bit of a wind advantage, 0 to 10. We're going to go play action, and we're going to go to Sterling Sharp again. Blitz coming, so we're going to change it to a slant to Hudson. Slant always seems to work good against the blitz. And there it is. Hudson could go. 20, 10, 5. Put it on the board. Touchdown, Green Bay. Don Hudson, his longest catch of the year, 60 yards. And we have a 13-0 Green Bay lead. Longwell will try to make it 14, and he does. So Dallas looking a bit frozen on this frigid night in Green Bay. They trail now 14-0. Marsh again back deep for Dallas. He'll return it. Looked like he took it at about the 1 or the 2. It took it at the 2. The return went 24 yards to the 26. Robinson on the tackle for Dallas. So, 1st and 10, Dallas at their own 26, but I said that already. Emmitt Smith, straight ahead. Past the 40 to the 43, a nice pickup of 17 yards. That gives Emmitt 3 carries, 27 yards so far. 1st and 10 at the 43. Emmitt again on the draw, and he gets another few yards, hitting those holes. 3 yards. Bobby Dillon makes the tackle. Yes, Bobby Dillon. I did not make that up. I don't think he sings Lay Lady Lay. Maybe he does. 2nd and 7 at the 46. That was a pass in the flat to Smith, and it gained 11 yards, and Nitschke makes the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 43. Maybe that Bobby Dillon sings Girl of the North Country with Johnny Cash. I don't know. Gain of 5. Walker on the toss. Camplin missed the tackle, but Robinson didn't. And it's 2nd and 5 at the 38. Romo to throw, incomplete, but a marker before the throw. Oh, a first down for Dallas. They get Jordan or offsides. He makes it 1st and 10 at the 33. 2:41 now left. Opening quarter. To Witten, incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 33. If you don't have a TV on, the Fox is in their pregame show for the 6th game of the World Series as I record this 27th of October, 7:42 p.m. 2nd and 10 at the 33. If there are any scores while I'm on, I'll let you know about them. Gain of a yard. Emmitt Smith. Jordan on the tackle. Smith now 5 carries, 31 yards, 1 catch for 11. 3rd and 9, ball at the 32. And Emmitt in the shotgun as the sole running back. He gains 4 yards, and they will try a field goal here. I believe that is Dan Bailey from 45, kicking into the wind. And he got it. 14-3. We have 56 seconds now left, opening quarter. So Dallas answers the bell, a score of their own, and it is Odom back deep. See if they go to him. They do. Taken at about the 5. They rule he caught it at the 8. The return of 17 yards. Norton tackles him at the 25. 148 yards for Green Bay and 65 for Dallas. Jim Taylor off tackle right. But we're going to turn that to a screen to Anderson because a blitz is coming. And Rodgers has recognized it. There's the throw, right on the money. And that's a gain of 11. First down. 1st and 10 at the 36. And that'll do it for the first quarter. 14-3 Green Bay. And we will tell you about the next few games here on the HTFL. I do not know. It'll depend on whether or not there's a Game 7 in the World Series when I'll be starting the San Francisco-Washington game tomorrow. I know 2 good teams here in the HTFL, San Francisco and Washington, probably the 2 of the best, 4 or 5 we have. If we go to a Game 7, we were going to play the game starting at 7 to try to get it in before the Seventh game of the World Series starts. If not, if the Dodgers win tonight and that clinches the series for the Dodgers for the first time since '88, we'll play the game at 7:30 normal time. Thursday, it's Kansas City at Cincinnati. Friday, Seattle at New York. Monday, not Detroit, Buffalo at St. Louis. I read this on a tiny screen, folks, so forgive me. And Tuesday night, it's going to be Cleveland at Chicago, and because that is election night, and I'm sure a lot of people want to be watching the returns, we will start that at 7. 7 o'clock on election night, so you can find out who will be president for the next 4 years. And that's right here on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel. So we might be on at 7 o'clock tomorrow if there is a Game 7 in the World Series, but we will definitely be on at 7 Tuesday night, a week from tonight. So people can go watch the elections and see what happens there. Go out and vote. I don't care who you vote for, just go out and vote. That's all I ask. Make your voice be heard. We start the second quarter, 159 yards for Green Bay, 65 for Dallas as we begin. Sweep right, Jim Taylor, the power sweep. But again, a blitz coming, and Rodgers has picked it up, so it's going to be a slant to Sterling Sharp. Instead, a dump off to, I believe that is Houghton, and he gets the first down, a pickup of 11. Now a 1st and 10 at the 47, off tackle right, Taylor. They want to keep trying to establish the running game. A marker down, could be holding.
Legal motion. Offense,
well, it wasn't good for Green Bay.
5-yard penalty.
Legal motion against Houghton. A 1st and 15 at the 42. We'll go Donnie Anderson on a dive. And Anderson picks up 2 yards. Of course, Green Bay is considered one of the first professional football teams. Or how should I say this? The football team with the oldest heritage. There were professional football teams going back to, say, the early 20th century, but none of them stood around. But Green Bay did. Of course, Green Bay is not owned by a magnate. They are owned by the city of Green Bay. A catch by Hudson, a gain of 6.
Defense. Number 54, 5-yard penalty.
And Randy White called for encroachment. A lot of the early professional football teams did not last and folded, so Green Bay is the oldest of the teams that still exists. 2nd and 8, the ball at the 49. They'll take a 2nd and 8 as opposed to a 3rd and 7. Medium pass to Sharp. Sterling Sharp becoming a target of choice for Rodgers. Renfro might have intercepted it. Mel Renfro.
The ball was secured.
Interception.
The ground. Interception. No timeout will be charged.
Mel Renfro with the pick. And we will see that is his first pick of the year. The running back, defensive back, played for the Cowboys back in the 60s and 70s. So, Dallas can get right back in this game, 1st and 10 at their own 38. Emmett bounces off the left side, a gain of 6. Blitz was coming, and Dallas sensed it and sent the man, Emmitt Smith. 2nd and 4. Smith now 7 carries and 41 yards. A marker down. This could be a hold.
Holding.
It is.
Number 82, 10-yard penalty.
Witten called for holding. And it is now a 2nd and 14 at the 34. Romo. A screen to Walker, and Walker's going to pick up some of those yards back. In fact, he picks up 4. That sets up a 3rd and 10. Guys are not deceiving you. 388s in the game. Burford, Irvin, and Des Bryant. Long throw, incomplete. That was intended for Irvin. And Herb Adderley drilled him. And could have made the pick, but could not hold on. So, we have a punting situation. Danny White. And I will fair catch it. And that is a fair catch by Wood at the 17. So Green Bay is going to take over as I set up my slide for the end of the 3rd quarter. Here we go. And I will tell you, it is a 14-3 game. And we're going to go back to Jim Taylor, and we're going to go trap it right. Gain of 3.
Offsides, defense. Number 79, 5-yard penalty.
So that'll make up 1st and 5 as Harvey Martin got called for the offsides. That makes it now a 1st and 5 at the 22. Taylor, dive play. And Dallas getting a little tight. And that's a 1-yard loss to Marcus Ware on the stop, and that sets up a 2nd and 6. Still good position for Green Bay to be in. Medium slant to Don Hudson. Hutson. They can't slip it to him, and it's incomplete. 3rd and 6 now. Medium pass. We'll just do a random medium pass, and we'll go to Paul Kaufman. He wears 82, and Rodgers is going to scramble, and he's got a lot of running room. Past the 50. Down to the 41. A gain of 38. And I was going to say that has to be his longest run of the season, and it is. So that is a game changer for Green Bay. 1st and 10 at the Dallas 41. And they're going to sweep it left with Jim Taylor. Not run to the tight end side, just try to cross them up a little bit. A gain of 5. Taylor now, 5 carries, 34 yards. Rodgers has started 7 out of 10 for 137. He has an interception and he has 2 picks. But Rodgers is your leading rusher right now at 38 yards on that 1 carry he had. Not often you see him leading in rushing. Jim Taylor, 30, 25, down to the 24. Jerry Kramer hurt on the last play. His return probable. So at left guard, Wale, he will come in. Played for the Navy. So I'm sure he had to do a 5-year commitment. 1st and 10 at the 24. We're going to go sweep it right with Jim Taylor. This will be his 7th carry. And it's another big gain. He's got the 1st down. Closes to the 10, to the 11. DeMarcus Ware making the tackle. And that now sets up Green Bay in the red zone. A 1st and 10. Taylor getting a little woozy, but we're going to keep giving him the ball. Trap it right. And Jim Taylor has himself a touchdown. Out of LSU. And he crosses the 1,000-yard plateau just like Emmitt Smith did earlier. And it is 20-3. Your point after now coming from Longwell. That's good. And it's 21-3. We have 7:52 left in the half. Marsh back deep along with Renfro and Ishmael. And it's going to go to Marsh. And a nice return for Marsh. 22 yards to the 31. Romo, 3 for 6, 26 yards. Doesn't have the gaudy numbers that Aaron Rodgers has picked up so far in this game. And your leading rusher right now, Emmitt Smith for Dallas, 7 for 41. They go to Walker. He gains 1 yard to get him to 4 carries and 10 yards, I do believe, although they put Irvin in. They have a 3 wide receiver set, so I won't be able to double check that later, but maybe at a discount. We could bring it up again. 2nd and 9 at the 32. Smith, incomplete. That goes over his head, right through the hands of Matthews. Setting up 3rd and 9 at the 32. Over the middle to Jason Witten on the cross.
Offsides, defense.
And that play is going to stand as it was a penalty against the defense. 16 yards. Clay Matthews, called for offsides. 1st and 10, the ball exactly on that HTFL crest at the 50-yard line. Have to imagine it's there, folks. Incomplete. Witten, the intended receiver. Bobby Dillon with the defensive coverage. 2nd and 10 at the 50. Incomplete. Dillon again on the coverage as Romo was attempting to get that to Jason Witten, one of his favorite targets back when Romo was a quarterback. 3rd and 10 at the 50. Romo put up great stats, but was never a great player for Dallas in the big games. And that was the knock against him, I always thought. Romo is looking to Witten. The pass falls incomplete. And 4th and 10 it is. I will watch for the fake, just because I like to watch for fakes. And eventually, you're right. That was a shank. That was a bad punt by Danny White. And it might not matter. It's 4th and 10. And Dallas is going to punt it again, so forget you saw that shank of a punt. That was also not a great punt. Only 28 yards. Goes to the sidelines. Stepnowski is your long snapper, by the way, for Dallas on the punts. 6:31 left. Second quarter, it's 21-3 Green Bay. Trap right, Jim Taylor. Gain of 2. And that sets up a 2nd and 8 at the 19. Green Bay is going to play it very conservative here. They're going to pitch it right, actually. And Taylor could not get much to the outside. DeMarcus Ware makes the tackle. 3rd and 7 at the 20. Be careful here. Medium hitch to Billy Houghton. That's a catch. A gain of 14. Renfro on the stop. Mel Renfro for Dallas. 1st and 10. The ball at the 34. 5:09 now left to the half. Off tackle right. Jim Taylor again, but he's stuffed at the line again. And to make matters worse, Green Bay is backed up 10. Gillingham called for the hold. 1st and 20 at the 24. They're going to go Donnie Anderson. Remember, they're going into a wind of about 0 to 10, and Anderson stuffed at the line. And the Dallas defense pointing at Green Bay like, this is all you got for me? Just the running game? Well, Green Bay is up 21-3. Houghton, who's now moved to wideout, the medium hitch to him. 2nd and 19. And that goes to Sharp instead. A 7-yard gain. Rodgers now 9 of 12, 158. Sharp now has 2 catches and 22 yards. Man in motion. Medium pass. Kaufman. We'll figure we haven't thrown to him yet, so we might be due. Houghton makes the catch, and Dallas will call timeout with 2:58 left. They needed 12. He only picked up 7. So it'll be 4th and 5. Anderson will now punt. And he's punting into a stiff wind, so Dallas brings their returner up, Martin, and he fair catches it at 26. 2:53 left to halftime. It is 21-3 Green Bay. Emmitt Smith on 1st down, a pickup of 7. He now has, we will update that in a moment. Walker, that was 3 carries, 9 yards for Walker. And to update where we left you off on him, Emmitt now 8 carries, 48 yards, and still has that 1 catch for 11. 2nd and 3 at the 33. It's a draw play to Emmitt. He'll get the 1st down, a pickup of 4. 2:17 left. And we go to the 2-minute warning without a play being called. No, we have one more play at least. Incomplete. In fact, we'll have 2 more plays as Romo and Bryant were not on the same page. That was a slant intended for Bryant, but it fell incomplete. 2nd and 10. The ball now resting at the 37 of Dallas. Incomplete. Walker. 2-minute warning now. And it's 21-3 Green Bay. Each team has timeouts remaining. Dallas has 2. Green Bay has 3. 3rd and 10. The throw. Looking for Walker, but incomplete. So Romo has started 4 for 14 and 44 yards. So not a good day so far for him. Punting time. 4th and 10. Danny White. That punt did not really travel all that far. Punt of 38. And Green Bay takes over. Kaufman, medium hitch. Try to get him involved in the game, throwing game. Incomplete. No, it was a sack by Hedrick, a 4-yard loss. And Green Bay will call an immediate timeout. That leaves them 2 left with 1:40 to go. Hitch to Hudson. Hudson will gain 4. I'm sorry, that was Aaron Rodgers gaining 4, and now Dallas calls timeout. Rodgers now, I have to go to the pull-up page. He now has 2 carries, 42 yards. Not a bad average at 21. Over the middle to Billy Houghton. 3rd and 10. Off of his hands and incomplete. Of course, with a temperature of 4 degrees, that ball has to feel like a rock when you throw it. And Donnie Anderson back to punt. And now Dallas will have a crack at it with $1:24 to go and 1 timeout. Martin, return of 3 to the 43. The punt went 35. And that makes the net of 32. 1st and 10 for Dallas. 57 yards away from the Green Bay goal. And Emmitt Smith, gain of 2. And we'll let Dallas use their last timeout. And they use it. No timeouts left for them. No soup for you. 2nd and 8 at the 45. Screen. Incomplete. As I see the face of Joe Buck. Incomplete. And now Romo 4 for 15. He is not having a good day. Romo. The throw. Down the sidelines to Walker. A gain of 10. And it's going to be 15 more.
Number 66. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
So that moves it to the Green Bay 30 with 51 seconds left. But Dallas now, no timeouts. And now I see John Smoltz. 6th game of the World Series about to get underway. Smith down the sidelines on the right side. He picks up 14 and gets out of bounds to stop the clock. 1st and 10 at the 16. Romo. Over the middle, incomplete. Pardon me for a moment while I cough. But you won't hear me cough. And that ball was bobbled by Smith. He could not hold on. And Romo now 6 of 18. 2nd and 10 at the 16 of Green Bay. Throw. And a touchdown. This is Bryant. That is Bryant. And Dallas finds Pater right before the half. 21-9. 21-10 as Bailey gets the extra point converted. With 26 seconds left to go in the first half. Odom back deep. "15-yard return for Odom to the 17. Charlie Waters made the tackle. Charlie Waters was in the booth with Tom Brookshire on CBS one day, I think in 1984. Medium slant to Billy Houghton, and Brookshire made a rather unfortunate remark about the IQ of the Louisville basketball team, and it wasn't too long after that they gave old Tom Brookshire the pink slip. 7 seconds left. We're going to go Taylor over the middle, and that'll be it for the half. I think Brookshire said something to the effect of the combined IQ of the Louisville basketball team was about 40. So we have ended the first half, 21-10 Green Bay. I will pause. I should be back with you. I'm going to take a swig of water, and I'll be back with you in about 30 seconds. So stand by, please. Thank you. 21-10, Green Bay leading. Dallas did not really get anything going until later in the first half. Their first score was Bailey, a 45-yard field goal, 56. So they've scored twice in the last minute of each quarter, which is kind of interesting. 21-10, and you know that already. Marsh is going to get the second half kickoff as Dallas wanted the second half kickoff. They deferred. A 23-yard return, Marsh to the 27. Romo has started 7 of 19, 84 yards. Green Bay has 288 yards of total offense on 31 plays. Dallas 147 on 32. First and 10 at the 27. Romo to Witten. Now watch, Romo will have a hot second half. Gain of 9. Bobby Dillon on the tackle. Second and 1, ball at the 36. Walker, did he make the first? He did. Clay Matthews on the tackle. Walker, a very quiet night so far, 4 carries and 10 yards. First and 10 at the 37. Romo over the middle to Walker, and Walker was wide open, a gain of 19. Robinson on the tackle for Green Bay. That was Walker's third catch of the evening, 33 yards. First and 10 at the 44. No gain. Smith and Campman made the tackle for Green Bay. Second and 10 at the Green Bay 44. Screen to Walker, and he's got his fourth catch of the evening. That was for 3 yards, and that gets him to, I think, 37 on the night. Third and 7 at the 41. Dallas brings in 3 wide receivers, which is why I couldn't tell you what the stats were on Walker. Irvin, a pickup of 8. Last week against Minnesota, he had 8 catches, 144 yards. I think that was one of the best games he's had in the HTFL season. First and 10 at the 33. Pitch. Smith, a gain of 7. Walker does indeed have 4 catches and 36 yards, as I was telling you. Second and 3 at the 25. Emmitt Smith, a first down, a pickup of 8. 13 carries and 69 yards now for Emmitt, the former Florida Gator. First and 10 at the 18. A throw to Burford, just short of first down yardage. Second and inches at the 8. Witten, touchdown. And we have a game again, folks. As that drive, 10 plays, 73 yards. Bailey for the point after, 21-17. So Dallas showing no quit. They came in tonight 5-5, needing a win to stay in the race for the fourth seed in the Eastern Conference, whereas Green Bay is in a tough fight in the Northern Conference with division rival Minnesota and Cleveland. They are all 7-3 coming into the week. Odom back deep for Green Bay. Must be feeling the pressure now. It was 21-3 just a little bit ago. It's now 21-17. He gains 21 yards to the 26. Aaron Rodgers, 10 of 15, 166 yards, a pick, and 2 touchdowns. Off tackle right, Jim Taylor. And Taylor found a little bit of a hole, a gain of 2. Bob Lilly makes the tackle and is probably trying to sell hardware products to Mr. Taylor. Anderson off tackle right on 2nd and 8. And Anderson finds a little bit of a nudge, 3 yards gained. Anderson has 4 carries and 9 yards, 2 catches for 24. 3 wide. And we're going to put Taylor wide, and we're going to leave Kaufman into block. And we're going to go to Sterling Sharp on the short out. He's got it. And that works out very nicely for Green Bay. Sharp to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Put it on the board. 69 yards. For 6 points. And it's 27-17. So Green Bay has answered the bell. Point after by Longwell is good. That was kind of an unintentional Howard Cosell I just did. 28-17 with the Longwell point after. Marsh back deep for Dallas, who now find themselves down more than the score again. This is a nice return for Marsh, 31 yards to the 40. First and 10. Let's see what Tony Romo has in mind. He's doing a little better statistically wise, 13-25. I'll tell you the World Series is about to start. I see G-Man Choi in the batter's box for Tampa Bay. 2nd and 9:41. That game was by Herschel Walker for 1 yard. Jordan pulled him down. Emmitt Smith. He gains 10 yards. He crossed the 1,000-yard plateau earlier in this game. First and 10 at the 49. Emmitt Smith again, a first down, breaks a couple of tackles, another 15 yards gained. He's at 94, so he's closing in on 100. And how many times has he gone over 100 yards? The answer to that, my friend, is if he has a 100-yard game tonight, it'll be the 7th game where he's at a 100-yard game. And he has yet to break 100 yards receiving. First and 10 at the 34. 4:26 to go in quarter number 3. Incomplete. And if you're tuning in to the World Series, it has just begun. There are 2 pitches in. Second and 10 at the 34. Loss of a yard. Nitschke on the stop. 3rd and 11 for Dallas. Looking to get back in the game or stay in it. Witten is going to be close to the first down the sideline, and that is 9 yards gained. 4th and 2. They'll bring in Bailey, and he'll try another field goal of 43 yards with the wind at his back. G-Man Joy just struck out, by the way, and that kick is good. 28-20, and that makes it a one-score game. 2:11 left to go. Yes way. That guy gets around. He must like to go to every HTFL game. Odom back deep for Green Bay. And I'm going to down it for a touchback. Just take no chances here. Just get the ball and jam it down their throat. Sweep left, Jim Taylor. And he goes down the left sideline. He will be close to the first. He think he got it, and he did. Gain of 11. And that's a home run for Tampa Bay to get on the board. Forgive me, folks. A Rosarina again for Tampa Bay, and they lead 1-0. So you're seeing this game 3, 4, 5 months down the road or 20 years down the road, you'll be like, what the hell is he talking about? Well, I'm doing this game as the World Series. The 6th game of the World Series is being played. So I just saw that happen in real time. Off tackle right, Jim Taylor, 1st and 10 at the 31 as we get back to the game. And that is 5 yards game. 5 yards gained to the 36. Jim Taylor now 97 yards. So he too closing in on 100. They'll go single running back in a double tight end set. Off tackle right. 1 yard gain. Lilly on the tackle. A 3rd and 4 now. In fact, that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. It is 28-20 in favor of Green Bay on this frigid evening, Thanksgiving night. Grand Slam Wrestling returns October 31st at 7 o'clock. The main event, I will be probably taping in a day or two. Farmer Burns defending his GSW World Heavyweight Champion against a pre-World War II favorite, Jim Londos. Jim Londos against Farmer Burns. That'll be your matchup. 7 p.m. on Halloween night. A little spooky. Right here on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel. Closing up year number 3 of Grand Slam Wrestling. I will be taking a bit of a hiatus from doing GSW when we get closer to the holidays. And I will start year number 4 when the calendar year of 2021 begins. 3rd and 4, ball to 37. Taylor, off tackle left. And interesting to try to get the first down running the ball, but it didn't work. Gain of 3, so it's 4th and a yard at the 40. But we do have Donnie Anderson in, and I don't think I have run a fake punt with him. Actually, I think I've done it once. Let's do it again. And Anderson... Oh, this did not work good at all. Picked up by Jones. It went over the head of Anderson. Jones picked it up, and he took it all the way to the 6-yard line of Green Bay. Oh, my goodness. Talk about a play going disastrously for the Packers. Tony Hill, number 80. He'll be down here on the bottom. It was a favorite target of Roger Staubach's. 1st and goal at the 6. Smith will put Green Bay out of their mercy quickly. A touchdown. And Jay Novacek comes in as the second tight end with the score 28-26. So Dallas will need to go for the 2 points here very early in the 4th quarter. Smith, short. So the score will remain 28-26 with 13:58 now left in the fourth quarter. Odom back deep for Green Bay. And Odom with running room. 30 out to the 34. Return of 32 yards. They'll go double tight end and they'll go to Jim Taylor. Trap right. And Jim Taylor, a 6-yard gain. Green Bay, 378 yards. Dallas at 260. So I forgot to give you the yardage recap. At the start of the fourth quarter, you now have it. And I'm going to fix something on the chat real fast. Okay, folks, my apologies. We're back underway. So Green Bay has it again. I thought the chat had frozen, but nope, that was the... Everything seems to be working fine. Jim Taylor, off tackle right. And that's another first down, a pickup of 5. Jim Taylor has now carried the mail 18 times for 112 yards. First and 10 at the 45, and this would be a good time to go play action. Wind at your back. We'll go play action long pass to Sterling Sharp, number 84. Throws away, it's incomplete, deflected by Renfro. And it is now second and 10 at the 45. Taylor off tackle right. And he'll get another first down, it appears. Yes, 11 yards to 123 on the day for Taylor on 19 carries. Rodgers, by the way, 11 of 17, 234 yards. Green Bay's going to go to the slowdown with 12 minutes to go. They want to pound the rock here. A trap right, and Jim Taylor just keeps finding the holes. He gains 14 this time. He's at 20 for 137. First and 10 at the 30-yard line. Of course, Taylor was the lead running back for that power sweep that Vince Lombardi used to run. So we'll go a sweep right here. We've been more using him as an inside runner, but Taylor was a powerhouse. Gain of 6. And Tampa Bay has runners at first and second with 1 out. Ware on the tackle at the 24. So Green Bay in good shape. We'll give it to Anderson, give Taylor a little bit of a breather. And Donnie Anderson will be close to the first down and makes it. First and 10 at the 20. Anderson, again, dive play. Give him a few more carries. He's stuffed at the line. Ringo hurt, the center, Jim Ringo. He is out for the game. They're going to put Charlie Brock in. He's a center linebacker from Nebraska, played in that World War II era. Second and 10. 8:49 left to go. We'll go back to Taylor and we'll keep running that power sweep till Dallas stops it. And he's to the 10, he's to the 5. Pay dirt, touchdown. And he does the Lambeau leap. Jim Taylor to 163 yards rushing. And let's see how many, that is his second touchdown rushing today. 34-26. So a critical extra point here. You want to kick it and get it to a 2-score game, and that's what Longwell does. 8:33 left. 35-26. Green Bay leading. Marsh, Renfro, and Ishmael back deep for Dallas. I will again remind you, if the World Series goes to a Game 7, we will be on 7 o'clock tomorrow with San Francisco, Washington, not 7:30. First and 10 at the 23. Although you could always set up the DVR function on YouTube and go back 30 minutes if you tune in at 7:30. First and 10. The throw. It's a little dink to Emmitt Smith. Clay Matthews heard on the last play. He is out for the remainder of the game. So it's going to be, well, actually, they got Nitschke in as a sole running back and a sixth defensive back lineup. 2nd and 5. We have 8:14 left to go. Emmett, the toss, and that's a loss. 4 yards. Campman on the tackle for Green Bay. 3rd and 9. Ball at the 24. Romo, incomplete to Bryant. 4th and 9, and Dallas will punt with 7:46 to go and hope they can get it back in short order. Fair caught by Wood, and the Dodgers get their second out of the first inning, keeping the runners at first and second. 35-26. The game's of a little bit of interest down here in Pinellas Park, Florida. Thank you very much. We're a few miles from Tropicana Field, hoping the Rays can win their first world title. Trap right, Jim Taylor. Actually, we're going to change it to a medium hitch to Hudson with Dallas playing short and tight, but it's a sack. Too Tall Jones, a 6-yard loss. Of course, Too Tall Jones tried his hand at boxing in the late 70s. Did not work out for him. Pitch right, Taylor. And that's no gain. 3rd and 16. I'm going to go draw play Jim Taylor just to chew up some time on the clock. A 1-yard gain, Martin on the tackle. We're up 2 scores, so we might as well just try to take some time off. And where's my timeout button? Here it is. And we're going to run the clock down to 5:36. Punt it. Anderson. Caught at the 25. And that's a gain of 8. The punt went 40, so the net will be 32. 1st and 10 from there. 35-26 in favor of Green Bay. Dallas needs 2 scores. Screen to one of the 88s. We'll have to see a moment. That's Burford. He gained a yard. Burford, that was his 3rd catch for 22 yards. 2nd and 9 at the 33. Romo, over the middle to another 88. That looks like Des Bryant, and it is a gain of 9. I'm going to challenge the spot.
Upon further review, the runner was stopped short of the first down. No timeout will be charged.
I used to have, the old title bout boxing. I had the 2000, they had a version in the late 2000s, the 2.5. And I always thought it was better than the version that came out in 2013. And yes, Ed Too Tall Jones is in that game. 3rd and inches at the 42. Danny Hodge, the wrestler, he's also in the game because he used to be a prize fighter. He had about 9 or 10 professional fights. Gain of 5 for Emmitt Smith. And he goes over 100. He's at exactly 100 on the day. 1st and 10 at the 47. Dallas, 4:50 to go. Trying to do 3 things at once here with the World Series game on. Game of 7.
Motion. Offense,
But it's coming back.
Number 88, 5-yard penalty.
Bryant got called for the illegal motion. 1st and 15. Ball at the 42. So Dallas using up a lot of time. Try to get one of their 2 scores. Emmitt Smith gains 12 on the screen. That's his 4th catch. He's got 42 yards on the receiving front. 2nd and 3 at the 46. Emmitt Smith, a gain of 8. And they are running in hurry-up formation, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Emmitt now 20 carries, 108 yards. Romo will update his stats in a moment. That's incomplete, so he's now 18 of 33, 177 yards, having a much better time of it in the second half than he did at the first. 2nd and 10. Mark Gastineau, yes, he was another pro football player who tried boxing.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 44, automatic, 1st down.
They got Bobby Dillon for pass interference, and he goes to the refs and he says, "It ain't me, babe." First and 10 at the 25. He did the song before, I don't know if he did the song before Johnny and June Carter made it, Johnny Cash and June Carter made it famous, but I know he did an earlier version of it. A gain of 6. Romo to Smith. It's second and 4 out of 19. Smith, close to the 10, to the 11, a gain of 8. And Tampa Bay finally out of the first inning, so they have the 1-0 lead going into the bottom of the first. First and 10 at the 11. Throw. Tony Hill, a gain of 6. Dallas is not calling a timeout yet. They have 3, Green Bay with 2. Looking for Irvin. Smith might have injured his thumb, but he will be okay, say the doctors. Third and 4. Romo gets in there. Touchdown. Tony Romo with a rushing touchdown. And it's 38-32. I'm sorry, 35-32. Gave Green Bay too many points. Your point after try by Bailey good, so it's a 2-point game, 35-33. We have 2:19 left. Now, here's the dilemma. Does Dallas go onside? Do they try the onside kick? With 3 timeouts, they could kick it deep and just try to use them boom, boom, boom. But with Jim Taylor being so successful, I don't think they would try that. So I'm going to watch for the onside kick. Oh, they kick deep. Odom to the 25. The return goes 21. First and 10 at the 23 for Green Bay. They got to go 77 yards for a score, but more importantly, they got to induce Green Bay to Dallas to call their timeouts. Off tackle right, Jim Taylor. First down here would be nice. A gain of 5. And they will go to the 2-minute warning. Dallas not electing to call a timeout there. Second and 5 at the 30. Trap left Taylor. Got to get a first down here. Put the game away. Not there. Gain of a yard. And Dallas now calls a timeout. They have 2 left. A third and 4. Well, I got to keep running the ball, I figure. Make Dallas burn their timeouts. Taylor, whether you're unsuccessful or not, and they're not, 1-yard gain, and Taylor might finish with 27 rushes and 171 yards. Dallas will have 1 timeout. Donnie Anderson will punt, and he already botched a punt earlier in this quarter. The punt goes 38. The return by Martin, 3 yards. So Dallas just needs a field goal, and they've been behind most of the game. It's first and 10 at the 33. Romo to Emmett. He gains 2. Jordan on the tackle. Dallas uses their last timeout, so they got to use the sidelines now. Second and 8. Screen, incomplete. Seemed to bounce off of Emmett. That's his second drop of the day, despite having a good day rushing the ball. Third and 8. Romo. Throwing. Incomplete. So now it comes down to this. Possibly. A 4th and 8. A play short zone. 4-1. Dime defense and pass. Usually let the computer call the plays on defense, but... Oh, 88 got it. One of the 88s, which is Irvin. Gain of 8, and he gets the first down. 1:08 to go. Romo. Throwing. Sideline to Des Bryant. A gain of 18. And here you go. Game's on the line now. First and 10. 59 seconds to go. Romo. They're just on the edge of Bailey's range, I would think. It would be a 56-yarder. Although they'd be kicking into the wind. Here's your second and 10 play. Sacked by Nitschke, and it was clutch. Loss of 10. I will not call timeout. Third and 20. Now Dallas needs a big play. Romo's going to run. He's sacked again. Jordan. So now it's fourth and a cab ride from Appleton for the Cowboys. Ball at midfield. They got to get something big. Probably wish they had Staubach in the game. Incomplete. Looking for Tony Hill. And Rodgers takes one knee, and this is over. 35-33 Green Bay. They survive. That is your final score. So we'll go over the stats. We'll check the ramifications in the standings, and we'll get on out of here so you could watch the World Series. 22-42 for Romo, 215, his rating 82.9. Rodgers had 123.2. He only had to throw 17 times because Jim Taylor did a lot of the heavy lifting. Emmitt Smith, 118 yards rushing. Jim Taylor, 171. Leading receiver was Emmitt Smith out of the backfield, 5 for 48 yards. Always like to look at the defensive stats because I always think they're overlooked. DeMarcus Ware was the leading tackler for either team, 9. And thank you for attending, guys. Michael Butler, Al Red Sox fan. Good to have you with us on this Tuesday evening. Hudson and Dillon led the way for Green Bay in tackles with 8. And it's not really a good thing when you have defensive players, defensive backs leading in tackles, but although that does happen. MVP, Jim Taylor, and with his 2 touchdowns, including the one that wound up settling the game at 35-26. Dallas did not play poorly, I don't think. They got off to a bad start. Each team was perfect in the red zone. 4 touchdowns, 4 trips for Dallas. 3 touchdowns, 3 trips for Green Bay. Green Bay 439 in total yards. Dallas wound up 338. 10 penalties, so it was a pretty well played game. 70 plays for Dallas. 54 for Green Bay, but Green Bay spent a lot of time running the ball, so the time of possession was even. And Dallas won the first down war 24-20. So tomorrow night we will either start at 7 or 7:30. It will depend on who wins the World Series game tonight. Tampa Bay leading 1-0 as they are in the bottom of the first, 2 outs. Blake Snell pitching to Justin Turner at the moment. Our next game, San Francisco, Washington. Kansas City, Cincinnati on Thursday. Seattle, New York on Friday night. And then we come back and do the remaining games of Week 12 next week. Dallas, we'll give you the standings and then we'll get out of here. They're 5-6. New England has now in sole possession of the 4th seed. And looks like St. Louis, even if they lose, would keep the 3 seed. Minnesota, 8-3. I'm sorry, Green Bay is 8-3. Minnesota a half game behind. Cleveland a half game behind, and they will each play later. So that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed tonight's game. We went 1 hour and 13 minutes on the stream, 1 hour 14. Have a good one, Michael. Have a good one, Al. For all of you tuning in later on in the evening or whenever you tune in, we hope you appreciated tonight's game and enjoyed it. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. We wish you well no matter where you are, no matter when you see this. Godspeed, God bless. We'll do it all again soon.